on there, live on the Plebeian.
Yes, sir.
Boom. All right, so we're live. Awesome. All right. Well, I guess maybe if you want to throw on a little link to your story or something like that, get a couple people in here if you want. No rush.
Got you, man.
Hell yeah.
Start posting right now.
Hell yeah, well, it's going to be the first of many. I don't think too many people know what public appearance is, but we're going to be recording this, so if people run it back, basically what we're going to be doing here is talking about the visual side of sound. So Jireh, thank you for hopping on here and being my first victim. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Man, thank you for having me, bro. Whatever you got, I'm ready for it.
Of course, bro. Alright, so I guess just to get into it, let's just start with a little intro so people can get to know you a little more if they're unfamiliar. So maybe just tell me a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, and kind of what it was like growing up.
Well, first of all, I'm Jireh. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I really I'm not good at talking about myself, whether it's like good or bad. Well, I could probably talk shit about myself. I talk like really good shit about myself. But as far as like talking myself up, I'm not good at it. I like to do cool shit, and I think that's kind of what led me to this point. My environment it doesn't reward individuality. I'll say that. So it doesn't reward, you know what I'm saying? It rewards the hive mind, you know what I'm saying? Or the common thought, or going with the common thought. And I think a combination of just not liking that shit and I don't know, just trying to figure myself out aside from all the creative shit, aside from all the other stuff, is kind of what led me to doing what I do now, which is pretty much everything.
Creative wise, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I guess that makes sense, man. Yeah, like, you know, not wanting to go down the path most traveled by and taking the path less traveled by, you know, kind of ousts you a little bit, but also gives you a leg up. So yeah, bro, I guess that kind of leads me into my like first question a little bit. So I know you do kind of do a little bit of everything when it comes to throwing events, doing things in the city, but obviously you also make music yourself. So I guess kind of tell me a little bit about how like you got started like making music like initially. Like what were your first couple like, I don't know, introductions like into music when you were growing up?
But yeah, actually music was like my first love. That's the way I describe it to anyone that asks, especially because it's kind of confusing when I try to explain what it is I do specifically. So I just tell them that music is my first love. But I really just like making cool shit. As far as tunes though, my dad was a poet, a radio host. My brother made music. My grandfather played the jazz band. I was just always around it in some way, shape, or form. And I think it kind of like subconsciously just like seeped in.
Okay, yeah, like literally, yeah, I get that. Kind of just.
Yeah, I think I started taking it seriously probably around high school, like later in high school. I started taking music and myself more seriously probably towards into high school.
Was there like a certain point like musically, I guess, where you like kind of like flipped the switch and you were like, you know, you always kind of maybe did it like hobby wise, and then kind of I guess later in high school you were like, yeah, I'm going for this shit, or I'm you know taking it more serious.
I think in high school, like early on in high school, I did it. So I could have an identity, or so I could have, you know, some form of identity. Everybody was the blank kid, you know what I'm saying? And I was just the quiet kid. I just didn't want to be the quiet kid. I was just the nigga there, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck, that would be the music. It's something I'm familiar with. It's something I like genuinely, so it's like whatever. So you have to tell people, oh yeah, rap, you know, when kids are freestyling at lunch or some shit like that, I'll hop in, this, that, and the third. But, you know, I would really go home and just listen to shit. I would really go home and try to write shit. I would really go home and...
What was some of that stuff you were listening to when you were going home trying to get inspired?
Oh man, I feel like I always had great taste. That's something I read in the book once too. Like, you don't know what you're gonna be great at, but you kinda can have a hint based on your taste. And if you have good taste in a field, then 9 times out of 10 you'll be great doing it. And I feel like I've always had great taste. Like my dad contributed to that, my brother just like, and me individually too, just being able to take different things. I've always listened. Zay is my favorite rapper I've ever tried. When I was coming up, I'm trying to think. I guess like middle school, high school. On that time, how many years was that? That was like the end of the blog era, I would say. And the beginning of like the end of the blog era and the beginning of like internet rap. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I just fell into that YouTube hole. So it would be, people that I would see like a Breezy Lovejoy on YouTube that ended up being fucking Anderson .Paak and shit like that. Just like wild stuff that I would just be surfing and finding in middle school, and then later on they would either, how I guess how industry works more than anybody.
Right.
But it was just interesting seeing like the Mick Jenkins and stuff like that. Seeing where they are now, and I guess that gave me a little more inspiration too.
Okay.
But, more than anything, that was a sound. I wouldn't say any specific artist, especially back then, because I was trying to listen to anything I could get my hands on, so I could just feel, well versed, well rounded.
Of course. I guess that kind of brings me perfectly to like my next point, like in terms of like well-roundedness and overall sound and like multiple influence. To bring up your last project, Play to Win, that you dropped beginning of August. Just to kind of talk about that a little bit and switch gears, I guess I have two questions. One off the last one, based off the last one, but in terms of like musical influences and like multi-genre inspiration, can you kind of like touch on which pieces or which facets of which genres you utilize to kind of like build and put out this body of work?
Oh, that's a great question, and that makes me feel like listened to. I love that. Thanks for paying attention, first of all, dog. Touch my heart.
Of course, bro. Of course.
Oh yeah. I guess. Okay. Damn, why do I talk so much? I was thinking of an answer in my head, and I was like, all right, this bitch about to be 2 hours long. And I was like, nah, I can't do that to him. So let's try short, concise answer.
Okay.
For Play to Win, at least, I think it was a combination of the time I was at in life and the stuff I was listening to. Because like anything I'm listening to at the time, first of all, I found myself in being versatile. I'm sorry, I know I jump around conversation.
No, you're good, bro. You're good.
Yeah, not a problem. I know I found myself in being versatile and like sound and whatever, but I think that comes from again just having a wide range of taste and being able to take what I like and adapt it to my own style, my own feelings, my own situation.
Okay.
So when you hear different artists claim that whole chameleon title and rap or whatever,
of course.
I think that aptly describes me when I want to be, but I'm very selective of what I choose to let influence me. So that's I guess that's more of the why behind it. But as far as the what and specific songs and sound at that time in my life, I was going through like a very like heavy stage in my life, like whether it was how I felt about myself, how I felt about the things going on around me, and how all that just played into waking up every day and having to, live this bitch called life.
Yeah.
I think all that kind of like, so I was listening to a lot of Earl. I'm always listening to Earl, or like, I call them the Earl clones, but Mike, Mavi, Madani, well, less Madani now, but, Sideshow, all these guys, anything that Alchemist would rap over, I'm like falling in love with it at this point. And that was when I really like delved into that subgenre of hip hop, because I love those, but like the subgenre of hip hop where I just heard this rapping, like, and people say that all the time, this is rap, but for the first time, I heard people saying whatever they wanted to say, however they wanted to say it, unapologetically. Like, I don't care. Someone's gonna listen and someone's gonna love it because someone feels like me right now, and that's what I'm more worried about.
Right.
And I think that is kind of what I held on to, a mixture of that, the Earl side, and also like I said, Isaiah Rashad is my favorite artist, and I've been waiting on that album that just released for 6 fucking years. And
I think everyone was, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Every time an interview would come out, or every time some snippets would come out, or like even when like small like lives and stuff, I was like really, I feel like I studied him as a person to the point where it's almost unhealthy. And he would talk about this thing. I think he did like a talk with Kenny Beats, or like a fake episode of The Cave, and they were just talking about like the concept of don't overthink shit, and like that really stuck with me too. I felt like it was a meeting in the middle of, what I'm saying, like caring enough to say what you want to say, how you want to say it, but not giving a fuck enough to alter what you're saying or whatever, for your audience. Like finding them. And I think that helped me a lot when it came to this project. So I'll say like between the Earl clones and Zay, like that explains the tone, the content matter, and the energy behind each of those songs. I think that would be it. Like you could probably pick apart, like Play to Win, you could probably hear more Mavi and Earl because of the way I just like kept going and the stuff I was talking about, because it was on my heart. The production wise too, you could probably hear the difference in like the Alchemist inspired beats and stuff like that, because I was like, man, I just love this fucking sample. Or the Zay inspired beats that have like the Missy Elliott sample on top of it, or like stuff like that, like the Pan How Many Songs and shit like that. So it's like, I think it's an interesting like, kind of the right word. I don't want to reuse. I don't want to misuse that word. It's not dumb as fuck. But yeah.
Nah, bro. I 100% agree. After listening to the project like multiple times, especially like in order, as like you presented it, I feel like you do kind of get that pull from a bunch of different like sounds, like from like I mean, I'm on the East Coast, but I feel like I'm in the South when I'm listening to the project. Yeah. Like I feel like I'm in like a different location, and it kind of like, it's wild because I like did this like multiple times. Like I mean, the project's a little under like 20 minutes, so it is relatively like short. But like when I'm listening to it, and I did that, I tested this because I was like, am I tripping or not? But I really do feel like it's way longer than 17 minutes, bro. Like way longer. Yeah. Like when I get into it, like I don't know, like I feel like I'm outside like listening to it for an hour when really it's like, holy shit, it's not too long. And I think the sound and the content and the structure of how it was rolled out really like helps that matter.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. That's another thing too. Like I really drop the shortest projects and songs. Like I told myself before Play to Win I wasn't gonna drop anything longer than 3 songs anymore, because I was like, nobody cares. But that was just something like, this was something I wanted to make. And usually when I have it in my head that I want to do something, I make that priority, because it's not often that I'm excited or motivated to do something. And also it's like, it seems important to me at the time.
Right. Okay. No. Yeah, I get that, bro. So I guess like adding on top of like continuing like the conversation like around the album in general, kind of what was the creation process like, the actual like recording process like for this project? Like, did you like know you were going into the project and be like, okay, I'm recording these songs for this reason, or did you kind of like piece it together from other things you were feeling or working on, or kind of how did it come together?
That's crazy. That's a good question. Man, like I feel like the only way I can answer that is if I went in like my fucking archives on Instagram. But the only way I can answer that is 100% truthfully. I'll say that. But let's just go back.
Go ahead, bro. Nah, we got time, yo. We got time.
Oh, good. This is exactly how I started. I literally was, I think I was doing a brunch, doing events and stuff like that. And I sat down for like a moment after, it was like towards the beginning of this year. Like into the first quarter, I said.
Okay.
And I sat down and I was like, dude, I'm so fucking tired. I just want to make some shit. And I went to my friend's house and I sat down. I was dropping singles, throughout the, the beginning of the year and shit like that. End of the first quarter, end of the second. That's what it was, like end of the second quarter, mid to end of the second quarter. Because throughout the first half of this year, I was just dropping singles. But I was just tired. I moved around a little bit. I was doing shows, whatever. And that was around the time I told myself, I'm just going to drop singles. No one gives a fuck about a project, this, that, and third. And I sat down. I don't know what made me that tired or that emotionally exhausted. And I was like, fuck, I'm not doing nothing no more. And I sat down at my friend's crib. And I just did the first thing I felt like doing. And that was make a beat. And I had made a beat. At that point, I hadn't made a beat in like months. And I tweeted about it. And that beat ended up being the show and tell beat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I made that at my friend's house. And I remember, what's crazy is he deserves a writing credit. And if when this song goes fucking crazy, bro, he's getting so much money, because I guarantee you, I was sitting there doing the 808s. And like, that was before I even had like the Missy sample in there. So like that, I'm just doing the 808s and shit like that. And we just jokes and like, that's really all we do. It's always a good time. We talking about some shit, watching YouTube or whatever. And he's just like mumbling, and he comes like, show and tell. Yeah, show and tell. He's repeating that. And I'm like, wait, And I was like, son, you just gave me a whole verse. I literally made the whole verse off of him repeating like show and tell 5 times. So I was like, son, thank you.
Hey, sometimes it goes like that.
Exactly. I made the whole song. It was like, and it flowed, like it just like gushed out. As soon as he said show and tell that way, you know what I'm saying, with that case, like you can hear something, you know, like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's it. And we just ran with it. And that was like, I made the beat. I wrote the verse right after he said that. And it's like the song made itself. The song made itself. And I was so excited about it that, like, I remember rapping it on Instagram before I even recorded it to the beat. Because I was like, bro, y'all, I just made the craziest beat I ever made in my life. Like, I just wrote the craziest verse. Like, y'all just got to hear this, da da da. And, like, my close friends went crazy.
Okay.
My close friends ate shit. And after that, 2-3 weeks after that, I recorded Show and Tell in the studio, and I dropped it just because, like, hey, yo, it's been a while, whatever. And that's when, like, the reception went crazy, whatever, and, like, I just felt good. Like, above all, I also think, I know, like, I met somebody around that time, too, so I might have just been looking for an excuse to do some shit.
Okay, yeah, I hear that.
I been looking for an excuse to be like, oh, yeah, come to the studio, you know what I'm saying, come see me do my thing, this, that, and the third. So I did meet somebody around that time, but, like, I don't know, my mood was better. I felt better. Like, it was just a lot of shit culminating to make me feel good about what I was doing again. And that just made me want to do some shit. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do that. Like, and I repeated that formula for Show and Tell 8 times, basically. I pulled up on a homie. We smoked, we joked, we drank, we talked shit, we talked about life, whether it was somebody I ain't seen before, and however long. Like, this album was probably made between, like, 3 houses.
Okay.
3 houses, 1 studio, and 5 different personalities in my head. But
that's gonna be the quote to this video, yo. Yeah, right. No, but that's I didn't even realize, bro, that you produced the show and tell, like, at all. Did you do any other production or any other songs on here?
I made every single song on this album.
Bro, how did we not even talk about this?
Oh, I don't. Like, I put it on a little thing, and I try not to, because I want to be. Because I've met producer rappers, especially in my state. Like, producer rappers are some of the most, like, rightfully so, because they're them niggas, and it's a great talent. But, like, producer rappers are some of the most picky, like, whatever. And also, sometimes they're very overconfident in their thing, because they'll do one thing really good and do, like, you know, they'll do the producer side really good and do the rapping kind of mid. But since they can do both, they really feel good about it. I just don't want to be that person. And I want to be over, you know, confident in my shit. So I'm just going to be like, yeah, man, I'll rap or whatever, and put, like, produced by Jireh at the bottom.
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody's like, you know, somebody's like, man, it beats hard as hell. I was like, hey, man, you want one? You know, you can couch.
Hey, you heard it here now, yo. He doesn't just rap. So tap in with the man.
Oh, yeah, and shout out to another one of my close friends, I guess, Diego. He's a piano player. Well, he plays fucking everything. He's an artist, and he plays literally almost every instrument you can think of. He helped me come up with, like, the samples and shit like that. I use all original samples, like no splices, no splice samples and shit like that. Now that I have nothing against that, because that's what I used when I started out. Splice and YouTube, bro. You can make hits. If you're listening to this and you're a producer or whatever, like, even if you don't have producers to make you beats, go to fucking Splice, bro. Loop something out, find some drums, add the beats on top, and now you have a hit, and you can make your own song. You can make whatever you hear in your head with those 2 tools. But I just wanted to make something original, like, not original, like, in the sense of anything else is unoriginal, but original in the sense of, like, bro, I feel this in my gut. I hear this in my head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as close as the internet might get, I'm going to take so much searching and time and energy trying to find it close to it, then manipulate to where I want. Man, play this, wow, whatever. I'm going to harmonize it. I'm going to tell you the one key that I do know, whatever, and we're going to figure it out. And
right.
It came together, and it was fucking fire. Like, it's some things that I know I wouldn't have been able to make without those samples. I know I wouldn't have been able to make without that energy, basically. Just like having someone challenge me, like someone who has, you know, that ear classically trained ear and stuff like that, may not even know too much about hip hop production or the ins and outs of it, but can be like, yo, man, this will be hard. So, or you sure you want to put that in there? Or this, that, and that. I'm like, fuck, I gotta try something else, because I guess it's not hitting like that.
Right.
Going back. I just, like, creative energy, I think, is one of the biggest influences on me, like, what I make. I know that sounds really, like, it's a cliche, but when I say creative energy, I mean, like, being in a room with like-minded individuals.
No, I hear that, bro. I understand. I mean, it helps a lot with the creation process. Obviously, if you allow yourself to hear their criticism, whether it's positive or negative, and like kind of you like shift on top of that, or make a decision based off what they're saying, and not just be like, nah, man, my shit's hard. Like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah, exactly, bro. It's okay to be confident in your shit, but you can't be like delusional. You can't be delusional.
Hell yeah. Well, shit, bro. I was gonna actually bring up the show and tell video a little bit later to just play it, honestly, for anyone watching. We can go ahead and do that now if you want to go ahead and run it and just let that spin for a second. All right, yeah. Because we can do that, and then because I do have a few questions about the visual side of it, but we'll let this run for a second. If anyone's watching, anyone's in the stream right now, if you haven't already heard, we're gonna get a little show and tell going. So we'll hit it right here, and then we're honestly gonna blow up the whole screen right here. So we'll run it back.
Show you right, oh you will, roll the dice, show and tell, what's the price, knock it off, what you like, chart the cost, pop it off, why you gas me up, oh you can't top me up, watch them catch as fuck, oh I can't stop it all, Jireh back and forth, my bitch is volleyball, shit, pay attention, play it close. I'm with all my niggas, we fresh off the boat. Bitch, I'm at the digits, nigga, 5 or more. Plenty capping niggas telling lie for hoes. Shit, OMG. Fuck is that? It smell like fish and holding me. Bitch, I been the goat, don't think they noticing. Fuck it, we still popping out and posting where they homies be. Thuggin' ain't no ops up in my optic, we done ghosted teams. Fuck it, they had tried to hold me, I guess that's the game. Took an oath with all my woes and hope they never change. By the night, the name strike all night, the booth the barricades. Hey, show you right, how you will. Roll the dice, show and tell, what's the price, knock it out. Shit, what's the price, drop the cost. Catch me
And if you haven't already, go and check that out. Go subscribe to my man Jireh, you feel me? At Jireh on Spotify, YouTube, everything, cause yeah, the man creates. But alright, let's talk a little bit about the video, because I've been meaning to ask you some questions about this video. I've just been holding off. But alright, we're gonna switch back to the album real quick. Alright, bro, tell me a little bit about the concept and why it was shot like that, because it brought me back to a couple places that I remembered, even though wasn't similar spot, but I remember being in an arcade like that too. So tell me why the arcade and how that idea came to fruition.
Ooh, that was complete accident. Okay. Remember when I told you show and tell, I wrote show and tell when I was in the middle of that thing and I met somebody around the same time, and that's really kind of, I ain't gonna lie, now that I'm thinking of it in hindsight, I really gave myself, because that's really what you do in life regardless, you give yourself excuses to do whatever fuck you want to do. So like I gave myself a reason to like make this album and make these songs, and to that reason, yeah, like I made the song, and when I told you I rapped it on IG Live, but not really, my close friends, they were like, "Bro, it sounds like you're in love." So yeah, I was talking to her one time. I wrote that verse. I rapped it like 2 weeks after I recorded that song, and 2 weeks after I recorded the song, 1 week after I released it, we were on a date, and I was like, "Hey, I got an idea. You want to go on another date?" And we went on 2 dates that day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. In the afternoon, I took it to what is that place, man? It's a weird, it's like a bowling place, but it's like Dave and Buster's with bowling.
Okay.
It's called like Main Event. Yeah. And
you said Main Event?
Yeah, it's called Main Event. I call my my videographer, his name's Dude. That's his name. I hit him up. I already had him paid. I already paid him for a video in advance, actually. And I was like, dude, I don't want to do some stuff early. The singles I'm dropping, whatever the fuck. So I just ended up giving him bread like a couple of days before. I was like, hey, yo, you free right now? He's like, yeah, what up? And he pulled up and he just basically recorded us on a date. It was the most, because honestly, that was our second or third real date. And it was the first or second one in public for real. And it was so awkward, but I think it showed on camera perfect. Like, it was the best kind of awkward.
Yeah, it was like, it did kind of, I kind of get that. Like, when I was watching it, like, I couldn't tell if, like, that was, like, planned, like, behavior or not. And it kind of felt like that, like, early, like, high school, like, late high school, kind of, like, awkward with the girl. I don't know if you're going to hold her hand or not, or shoot the basketball or not, or kind of, like, back and forth. And it, like, and I think, I forget what you just said your videographer's name is. Yeah, but the way that he shot it, kind of like one take, like a little bit, like more not like following you, not really in your face, kind of like just like observing you ish, like a little bit. I kind of feel like that gave it the feel too. That like coupled with the production.
Yeah, like I really ended up loving the angles in that he got, because also I'm really like, I know I'm an artist before, I'm pretty hands-on. Whatever I do, I'm a creative director. I'm not gonna claim that I know what the fuck I'm doing if I don't. I just know what I like. So like, I'll tell my guys like, hey bro, I trust your judgment, I trust your talent. You know what you're doing. This is like the one or two things I saw. And I gave him like a rough idea. He made it look so beautiful. Like, it honestly looked exactly like that was one of the closest videos I've ever got to looking exactly how I wanted it to, because it was a feel, and he really captured it. Like the slow pans in, like, you know, far away to them being like right up on our face. The only other video I'll say that I have that like does that is probably like Movie Day. It's a video from another album that I put out.
Yeah.
And it's real, like it's not no performance shots or anything like that. And it's kind of like a similar vibe, like the date. I think I'm gonna use that concept for like the date concept. And also, I don't like performance shots in my videos. Like, I've done a few, but I just feel so like when I'm rapping in front of the camera,
sitting on the hood of the car, chain out, like in the camera type shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me, like, I don't know, that was just never my bag. So I always try to find, like, I always want to have fun shooting the video, and I want to, you know, match the song and all that, but I also just like, I just want to do something different, and I hate that fucking word, like different in italics, how everyone uses it. Like, I hate it, but sometimes, you know, words are words for a reason. So.
Nah, I hear you, bro. And I think, you know, if you were, I think it came out like pretty well, obviously. You know, for what you put together, impromptu, on the spot. Like, yo, can you just pull up and shoot this real quick? You know.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite videos. Like, rewatch. I know I like something if I go back, and if I can go back and visit it and not completely cringe and like hate myself for making it. You know, like when you make some old shit, you go back. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
bro, of course, bro.
Yeah, this project in this video, like that video and this project was definitely something I found myself going back to with Brian, and I'm happy about.
You should, man.
Regardless of, I feel like anything else, because external validation is always gonna be a thing for me, but like also working on myself shit and all that, I try not to let the one thing I care about this much being music, you know what I'm saying, be affected by outside opinion or whatever, but it's still gonna happen. This is the first project I felt like I made exactly what I wanted to make. I did exactly what I wanted to do, and it worked. It worked out, or it worked out. I'm very proud of myself for that.
Bro, yeah, honestly, and like I said, you know, you should be, and you know, I think that more people should tap in, and I think that ultimately, you know, I think people will, and you know, eventually gravitate towards a project like this. I feel like we're coming into like a new age of, you know, like hip hop and rap and music like that, to where people are okay to, you know, take a second and like listen to something and like allow it to soak in, versus like having that like instant TikTok scroll song effect like on you, just to hear something so stimulating that has, you know, no like substance or, you know, anything in it musically. And I
bro,
think,
bro, I'm starting to realize, bro, you know what I'm saying? History repeats itself for real. And it's just like a big ass circle made up of small circles, if you know what I'm saying? Like, even the industry shit, like, everything has its birth and death, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a while where it was, you know, the trap shit, the trap era to the internet era. They called it the nursery rhyme raps, and people started getting more into, like right before the nursery rhyme raps. That was when Kendrick and Cole, you know, the blog era.
yeah,
People
yeah.
started getting underground shit. I feel like it's just a cyclical nature thing, and we're probably just getting right back around the time. I'm lucky enough to be 22 in the time, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Music at the time where people are ready to listen to somebody talk about how sad he is on some beats.
I mean, hey, some people are. Yeah, of course,
yeah, exactly.
right? Some people, obviously, people want to connect, you know, and it's like you can't always. You're not always in the greatest mood ever, so you can't always listen to the upbeat club banger, right? You need something to call to you.
Everything isn't the gym flow playlist.
Exactly. Honestly, I showed this to one of my best friends, and I said, "When would you put this on?" And he doesn't listen to rap music really. He only really listens to rap or hip hop influenced shit when I show him. And I was like, "When would you put this on?" He said, "Honestly, bro, I'm putting this on when it's a late night and I can't fall asleep and I'm smoking at 2:30 in the morning." He's like, "That's when I'm listening to this." And I was like, "Damn, that kind of hit the nail on the head."
And guess what? I wrote that shit in those times. Okay, it's about play to win. Like, okay, play to win. Honestly, if you wanna, it's so weird. Like, I've made so much music, but I feel like that one song. Whether I was just angry, I don't think I was angry. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't sound like I was angry. When I listen back, I don't think I was angry. I don't know. It's hard to put the emotion in words, but like, Play to Win is like, out of all the songs and albums ever I made. Because I made, I feel like a lot. I go after, I like to model off shit after, like, this, you know, underground artists that I love. Currency, can drop whatever he wants. He drops a project once a month, but he's still current. You know what I'm saying? Larry June, you know, they.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I dropped a lot of music, but for some reason, Play to Win is the most true song I feel like I've ever made. Because everything I'm saying in that song, I felt in that moment 100%. Like, whether it was me speaking in the present, whether it was me speaking about the past, or me speaking on my future. Like, I felt every single line about what I was saying in a different way. Like, I sit in my mind, that's why I can do it, where I got to this point. I sit in my mind to getting high while I write all my favorite songs.
Yeah.
While I make favorite songs. Like, that was, I wrote that shit at 3 a.m. in my hundred, smoking.
Yeah.
Like, sad. It's like, man.
It just is what it is.
Yeah, and this is really like the reality of the situation. I think that's why I like that song so much, because I don't think I've ever made a song that just clearly depicts my reality, where I'm at, other than that, like, you know, from beginning to end.
Yeah.
You know,
And bro, honestly, I feel like good music allows a listener to feel like you're with the artist or a part of them or a part of their experience, and I feel like Play to Win did that, you know, for me, and I hope that I can do that for other people as well, because it does feel like, you know, like I feel like I'm in a Honda with you as well, right? If we're, you know, even though we're across the country, it's like shit, I get that, right? And I think other people will for sure. So
yeah, like in the sense where you are, like, yes, and I fuck it in a sense, like you are, bro. We all in the same, like we all heading the same direction. We all in the same part. And I know that sounds like, bro, I know sometimes I end up saying some shit that sounds super like cliche and super whatever, but it's like that's really what it is, I guess. And when you think about it, like we all in the same spot, regardless if we want to admit it, acknowledge it, or to ourselves or to other people, like.
right.
Yeah, we all. I know that sounds super weird.
No, I like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. So, all right, I got another visual question about the project. Obviously, we touched on the one video that's out. But run me through this cover right here, cause I'm close to Philly, right? So I know one of the first things that I said to you was, "Is this an Eagles hat?" And it kind of shocked me a little bit. So run me through there's no title, no parental warning. There's no nothing on this. It's just the cover. I kind of like it like that, but kind of why like that?
I ain't gonna lie. I love the question that you asked, bro. Just cause, like, I don't know. I don't know. People don't ask these things. Whether they don't ask these things because they don't want to know is true. I can see that. Or people just don't ask these things because of the weird, like. But these are conversations I would love to have. And I would love to have with different artists about their shit too. So it's like great question, great line of questions. Like,
That's what this whole show's for, bro.
exactly. I know you're doing the shit. You're great. But like dog, the cover. All right, I started this trophy emoji thing when I did the first brunch, and brunch is an event that I do. It's a networking event I do in my city. I started it like a few years ago when I started VR Radio. It's like a nonprofit platform that I have impact groups. Regardless, long story short, it's a networking event and it's a space that I try to open up like once or maybe a couple times a year to provide people the opportunity to just come together on some no pressure shit. Like every time, if you're part of a scene, wherever you're watching this, if you're part of a scene, a part of any kind of community creatively, then you kind of know all of it's like all of the cons of being a part of. You know the pros, but you also know the cons. The ego, you know what I'm saying? Weird air of like superiority or like competition, shit like that. All the stuff that like kind of takes away from being part of the creative community, which is otherwise fun. I feel like I could make a space that what I'm saying didn't have all that. That was great about it. And after that, it was like the day after we had the first event, and it was really big success, like way bigger than I thought it was going to be, because I didn't understand my influence, I guess, in my city or my potential. A lot of shit that I didn't believe in myself or know about myself at the time. And the only thing I could feel, like, it was a brunch event. Everybody was doing little wine glass, emoji clinks or whatever, because, they I don't know, champagne clinks. Because they like
bro, mimosas, bro, it's brunch.
Yeah, and they turned that into, like, the thing. Everybody was posting their pictures after, and they turned that thing. And I was like, yeah, it's hard. But for some reason, this trophy is just shouting my name. Like, I was looking at the emoji, and I don't know, like, this trophy is shouting my name. Now, it felt like a win. And I know it seems super duper trivial, but like afterwards, after that first brunch, every single accomplishment that I've done, I feel like it was more of a subconscious thing. Like that was the first thing I did by myself. Like I had the idea, physically, because you can do music, you can put it out, you can do visuals, you can put it out whatever. That was the first thing I did by myself. Like I had an idea and I brought it into the world physically, and I could see people that it affected, the people that influenced, the people that it helped. And shit like that, and it just felt like a win. Like it felt like a win for younger me. It felt like a win for me right now. It felt like a win for my city. It just felt like me. And like ever since then, I'm like, that's a feeling I've been chasing. So that's another thing. I know that trophy shit, like especially because I don't explain it, or I don't try to explain it to people or whatever. I just be like, yeah, I'm that nigga, or whatever somebody has. But like. Yeah. It's not about winning in the sense of like a winner versus a loser or a place or, a status. It's about like self-triumph, bro. Like winning over. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's winning over your demons or winning over, you know what I'm saying? You're like trials and tribulations, winning over your versus like winning, feeling like whatever the fuck, I came up on top. You know what I'm saying? Like I came out on top to myself. Like, and I just been trying to chase that feeling for as long as now at this point for all of my adult life. And
it's not a bad feeling to chase, yo.
Exactly, like I think I'm gonna get there when I finally accept and love myself as some crazy deeper shit, because it's like nobody can give you that bitch. Like that trophy, nobody can give you that, but you gotta give it to yourself. And I guess that's what that is. People can read it as people can and have read it as arrogance, or what I'm saying, whatever. Because projection is human nature as well. I don't like try to judge a lot of people, because I know like we're all human, so a lot of shit we do is not even our choice. But like, regardless of how people see it or perceive it, winning to yourself, giving yourself that trophy, because at the end of the day, you should expect no one else to give it to you. It might hurt or whatever, but like you might want to, because that's, like I said, it's kind of validation, it's limitation. But once you get to that point where no one's validation means shit but your own. You know what I'm saying? No one giving you that trophy is going to be more than you getting that bitch, handing it to yourself and being like, I did that. Like nothing is going to compare. Until you get to that point, you're going to feel it. You're going to be trying to win for the wrong reason. You're going to be playing the game for the wrong. That's what I said. Like I play to win. Like peeped a couple of niggas playing both sides.
Yeah.
Like we play like to win. All of that other shit, like you gotta have blinders on. You gotta have blinders on. Whatever a win is to you, you got it. Right?
Bro, that's a very good answer. I fuck with that concept a lot, and I think it's cool to just hear you be like, yeah, you know, obviously some people can perceive it as arrogance or perceive it as this, or obviously you're sitting in front of a wall full of trophies. However, like, you know, when they turn around and look at themselves like individually, like you're right, I feel like that like no one's gonna give you. Someone can give me 10 first place trophies, but like it's never gonna feel the same unless like I got my own and earned it myself, right? So like, I think people hearing that message will resonate with a lot of people, and probably allow themselves to, you know, feel like it's okay to not triumph the first time, or, you know, fall and get back up and fall and get back up. Like it's part of it.
Like I've got some wild explanations when it comes to like the whole trophy thing. I'm like wild guesses, and it's like, yeah, man, it's kind of interesting because, you know, it speaks to the person that you're talking to at the time, you know, and like whatever someone thinks, it kind of says a lot about, you know, projection and all that shit. But it's like, yeah, no, bro, it's not about just like, and that's why I did like the Ricky Bobby. And
yes, bro. Yes, the transitions are crazy.
Certain skits and shit like that, because it's like, yeah, I can see how you see this, and I can see how you see it, but it's the full encompassing idea, the all encompassing, idea of it is like winning for yourself, winning with, like, by yourself for yourself, and not saying you don't need anybody, and not saying that other people aren't beneficial to any other degree, but just like knowing that your word, your emotions about yourself, your thoughts, like that shit set the precedent, bro. That's the bar. Like, that's the bar. We're conditioned, man. Like, fucking, like, I don't know how young we're conditioned to like believe that everything everybody else says about us is what's true. You know what I'm saying? Everything everybody else says about us is what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and all that other shit. And it's like, until you realize that you yourself have the power to make all of that shit true or false, like, you're just gonna be playing the game for the wrong reasons, bro. Like, you can play for whatever the fuck you want to, but unless you're playing for yourself, you're gonna lose.
Shit, I couldn't have said it better myself. Damn, that's a serious explanation, and we're gonna leave that one at that. I got a few more. A couple questions that you might have not heard people ask you this before, and I don't even know what a potential answer would be. I've never asked this. Alright, so what do you feel like your music looks like visually? Like, you can pick an adjective, you can pick a verb, you can pick a setting you think you could be in. It could be a combination of the three, but what do you feel like like if you close your eyes, what does it look like?
I'm trying to think. I don't wanna tell you, damn, what does it look like? See, it's like I'm fighting my instinct to think of a really cool fake ass answer.
Yeah.
You know, man, but I want to give you a real, like, honest answer, bro. Alright, long joint now. Okay, you know how Drake has, I didn't say that Twitch, I didn't say no one who heard me, I didn't say anything about it. I love Drake. Drake's amazing. But you know how Drake had those songs, those like 6 a.m. on the da 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 da, you know, all those interludes and shit like that.
Yeah.
It feels like, I say about a good 3 a.m., a good 2:30, and you walking out of the function. I'll just say the function, because the function always same. It don't matter where it's at, where you going, what you're doing.
It's wherever you leaving from.
Yeah, whether it's the homies, whether it's, you know, the party, whatever. You walking out of the function. You know, you on your level, a little drunk or whatever. You sit in your car, and you think about, yeah, that was fun, but I gotta live life tomorrow and the next day, and when I go home, and all that shit. So you sit in the car and you roll a blunt, and you find the playlist for that ride home, and that's what it feels like. It feels like, yeah.
That's the ticket right there. Yeah, no, yeah, that's exactly how bro, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I know it's your own music, but I think as a listener, I would have to agree. I think that's what it looks like visually as well.
Between the life and the reality, like, it's just like, the life, this is a life, and the reality of like that thing, that thin ass line. I would say that's what it is, that thin ass line. And for some reason, that line always leads home.
Dude, I like that. Shit, you dropping quotes today, yo.
Hey, bro, I can talk about ass, though.
Yeah. So, okay, that's kind of like a more conceptual, right? Like question, like in terms of like, close your eyes. What does it feel like? What setting are you in? Yada yada. But in terms of like down the line, right? In terms of like a legitimate visual, like a music video or a snippet or a skit or kind of those categories of visual side of music, right? What do you see for yourself in the future visually? Like, are there any like videographers or designers you're looking to work with, or have you seen maybe a couple people in like BR or across the country where you're like, yo, I'm doing something with that dude?
A designer, I know a designer. I'm waiting to work on him, bro. She just gotta get started. I ain't gonna cap. She probably know who she is, bro. And if you, I know you probably recording. Send me this clip. If you clipping shit.
Yeah, it'll be recorded, bro.
Get on her ass because I'm ready to work with a designer specifically. But as far as visuals, like I want to do. I like doing cool shit, and 9 times out of 10, it just comes to me. And I know that I have all the resources available, or most of the resources available to me, which I'm very grateful for. Whether it's if I don't know how to do it with someone else, I can reach out to someone else who can do it. So like the design, so like that. So as far as merch and things like that, I think it's a matter of me pulling the trigger, coming up with an idea I'm most confident in, and then gathering resources. But as far as visuals, I told myself interestingly enough, I tried with this project to work with one other videographer. She's great. It was just like, I realized, bro, dude, damn, bro. It's such an interesting nickname to have. Dude, if you're watching this, bro, I love you. You're great. But, it was just, I don't know. I've never, that's a lot. I've never been so close. I'll say that. I've never been this close to someone who is as passionate about their craft as I think I am.
Okay.
And again, everybody it's different degrees or whatever. But when I say as passionate, I'm talking about the level, the breadth and the depth type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like the kind of passion. Like you can't say one's for whatever than the other, but like the kind of passion he has for shit. He just wants to make cool shit. He wants to bring to life great ideas, and I think every time we work together, we accomplish that. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever idea I have, I don't think there's anything. So I'm really excited to work with him and push his level and push his limits and push our limits, collectively to see what we can come up with, working together for so long so we don't get good. So I think that's
yeah, damn. Bro, especially when you lock in with someone and you know that, you kind of guys, like you said to me, on this call and also before, like we're on like the similar paths, and when you find someone who's like willing to, like kind of be in your corner, whether it's like just a fan or a videographer or right like someone helping you with like the actual music or rollout or whatever the case may be, like that's cool that you kind of have started a relationship and are continuing to sustain that like down your path as an artist and throughout the career, because like obviously you're gonna stay with the ones that you build with. So
exactly. I told him when I tried with this album work with somebody else, I think it was like a slow up video. I ended up just doing the thing where like if you buy the album back up, then I'll send you the full video or whatever. I'm gonna start doing more shit with Bandcamp too. That I fucking love it. They're amazing. I gotta figure some shit out and like how I want to go about that. But like that was also a switch that with me when it comes to monetizing my fucking talent, bro. Like I'm not saying it's easy at all, but it's there. As of today, 2021, there are way more options than niggas had whenever the fuck I was trying to do everything,
Yeah.
So, that's something I want to work on most definitely. But yeah, I told him when I tried to work with someone else on this on that slow video, I was like, hey, bro, I'm gonna stick with y'all. Like y'all make it shit.
Yeah,
I told that to the engineer too that engineered all of Play to Win. His name DJ Hennessy. He's a Bad Moves legend. Nigga not even from Bad Moves. He's from like Lafayette, like Plaquemine or something, bro. Like, don't tell him I told him. I'm playing. But like, he's a goat. He's a goat, and he helped me out with a lot of shit. Like he helped me out with a lot of games. He's a producer as well. And besides, like just the Sonic, Sonic Weed, the word. It's so many words. I hate shit. but besides, the engineering side of things, the production side of things, like he gave me so much game when it came to navigating the space as far as, the scene. I call it the scene because I guess that's the most apt name I can come up with when I describe Van Who's rap. But yeah, like he gave me so much game when it comes to navigating the scene, and like he kind of helped put into perspective my role, because like I said, I like to do a lot of cool shit, and he was just sitting down and telling me like, you have a knack for building a community. You have like, essentially when people talk, like when you talk, for some reason people listen.
Right.
And regardless of who it is or how much they listen, you have a knack for bringing people together. And I never started I never created packages like that, my talent package like that. So I think that's why I want to do so much shit, like a little bit of everything, because regardless, I feel like my voice is gonna reach somebody who needs to reach for that reason.
Damn, bro. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, keep spreading the good word, yo. Keep spreading the good word. I was going to say, people definitely need to hear, another side of, life, but also just hear another perspective from someone who creates, different art from another part of the country or world, or, whatever the case may be. So I appreciate it. Obviously, others appreciate too.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Again, bro, caring enough to ask the type of question you're asking. Because, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you can tell when entry, adoration, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is forced or genuine.
Right.
And, like, from every conversation we've had, bro, you just respect the craft, bro. And that's why I feel like I can job with you, know what I'm saying?
Of course, bro, of course. All right, well, we're going to switch it up for the end of this. So I know this is the first one. If you're watching right now, this is the first public appearance episode. So we might tweak this out a little bit at the end. And if we do and change up the last segment, we're obviously going to have Jireh back on to hop up in that segment. But we're gonna wrap this up with a little speed round music question, right? So first thing that comes to the top of your head, right? When I give you back and forth, right? Just hit me with it. If you got a little explanation after, give it to me, and then we'll wrap up after that. But basically, all of these are going to be centered around an artist's career-ish a little bit, right? So Mac or PC?
Mac.
Spotify or Apple Music?
Damn, now why do I want to explain myself?
Go ahead.
Mac marketing. Literally, what's crazy was I fall in these weird holes. I found myself going into a hole of every single Mac appliance, not appliance, product.
Yeah.
Mac product that was marketed before and after Steve Jobs died, like since the first Mac. Their marketing was just fucking insane. And you can also see like how they switched and turned to mass production, whatever, after Steve Jobs left, whatever. But regardless, the packaging and the marketing, man.
All right. Spotify or Apple Music?
Spotify, but I own and listen to Apple Music. I do not pay for Spotify. Like I have Spotify and I listen to a playlist. I listen to it on shuffle, and it's the better streaming service.
You heard it here first, folks. Okay.
But popular opinion. Also, you didn't hear here if in the future, you know what I'm saying, niggas won't work with me. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Apple Music, tap in.
Tap in, but I didn't say that. If you get regardless. It's just a superior service, bro. In my opinion, from like what they pick. Like I get my new music from Spotify.
Okay.
Now add it to my Apple Music playlist.
Okay, I hear you. All right.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. All right, headphones or speakers?
Depends on the day. You cooking or you listening? Like if you cooking, you need headphones. Well, no, if you're cooking, you need both. Preferably speakers though. You need big so you can really hear how this shit can sound with slap. But if you just observing and trying to, take it in, headphones.
All right. Now you could take this from either like the ticket buyer or the artist perspective. But festival or more intimate venue?
Intimate venue every time. Both sides.
Boom.
I literally paid for a day in Vegas and got my fucking refund. Fuck that shit. Because when you think about it, bro, you're not going to have the time, energy to enjoy all of the acts that are on this fucking set. And also, if you get to make it to every one of your favorite artists, they're not doing long full sets with the same energy that they would do on a headlining tour. Find a small town in the middle of fucking nowhere on that tour that your favorite artist is doing, and go and see that. And I guarantee that'll be their most genuine performance. I'll say that. And also, I would much rather, like, big crowds are fun or whatever, but I like to be able to look at somebody's face, say some funny shit on stage, and get a reaction. It's my favorite thing. It's like, yeah, I probably go with like a crowd of people, but I like when I can like single you out, like, hey, yeah, you like a cool cat. What are you doing over there? Sitting down, nod your head, bitch. That's how I'm good.
Yeah. And honestly, it engages the crowd, right? Like, you can't point at some dude at Day in Vegas and be like, yo, dude in the red hat. Like, it's probably 1,000 of them, you know?
That fourth wall, there's like that weird fourth wall that's kind of there. It's like, yeah, I don't know, I like it. So,
all right, yeah, I hear that. All right, 3 more. At-home session or studio session?
I'm not a fan of my current living situation 100%, so studio 100% of the time. Even if, okay, I would say at home, if the home's not mine.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. These two are a little, I don't know how I feel about this one, but I'm asking it. All right. Would you rather have, I guess this is a would you rather, right? Freestyle on, feature on every song or no features at all?
Ooh. Feature on every song.
Really?
Good. Okay.
You get to pick, right? But that's just.
Yeah. Do they have to be a listed feature? Does it have to be like live featuring?
No, I'm just saying song creation individually or song collaborative.
It could be a collaborative effort, or I got to work on every song myself. Actually,
I don't know. However you want to take it, right? Feature on every song or no feature at all on the whole project.
Yeah, for the sake of just answering the question, because I'm for myself to like into the ground with hypotheticals. I'll say, you know what I'm saying? Every song has to be a collaborative effort versus me doing every song for myself. I'd rather every song be a collaborative effort just because I would like to test myself and see how little to how much I could do with someone else's voice, talent, and skill without overbearing the listener. As opposed to like, I get the appeal of wanting to do everything by myself because then I would be able to test my, you know what I'm saying, my range, test my strengths and weaknesses, try different shit, and ultimately I would come up with different sounds. But me personally, I work best, and I think I come up with my best shit in a room with other people. Like, I think I come up with my best, like my hardest shit. Like I said, with the show and tell shit, I wouldn't have gotten this song. That's one of my favorite songs off this project, and I wouldn't have got that song if I did go to Wayne's house with it. So it's like, I refuse to deprive myself of that, I guess. So like, maybe they won't be a listed feature, or, you know what I'm saying, a creative feature all the time, but I would love some background vocals, or I would love some whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna figure out what.
Alright, hell yeah. Good answer, yo. And then, alright, last one. Alright, when it comes down to it, are you kicking a freestyle or a written?
Okay, I'm not gonna fucking lie to you, a written. I was about to lie my ass off and be like, well, it depends on what kind of thing we're doing. Okay. But it's like, I'll say, like, if it's really only one setting. I'm gonna admit, it's only one time in the freestyle field. 2 times in the freestyle field. One is when I'm in the club with my brother. When I'm in the club with my brother, because he makes music too. And that's literally how we've come up with almost every song we come up with together. Or just when we're joking and smoking and shit like that. Like, we don't have a similar taste, but we just know what sounds so fucking good that whenever one person plays a beat, or whenever one person has a flow, we just get the jokes. Like, we start having fun. And that's one time our freestyle is just super fucking fun. Like, it's super fucking fun. Just like, we don't even be saying shit half the time. It'll just be like, we hear a beat and come up with a flow, and we'll be so excited that, damn, we really them niggas right now in this car doing this. And like, we'll just get hyped. Other than that, like, there'll be functions or something like that. Cause you know, when you're at the function, you always want to rap. Like, it don't matter if you're at the club, it's beautiful women everywhere. You're at the function, beautiful women everywhere. And it's gonna be a group of niggas freestyling to themselves in their ear and shit like that. Yeah. I'm never gonna do that. I'm never gonna do it. But catch me after the function when I'm walking out. If y'all still doing that, I'm gonna just play, you know, like an 8 Mile. I'm gonna sit, you know, nod my head and listen. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. As soon as a nigga call me out, I'm killing him.
Yeah.
Nah, it's always a freestyle because that's no pressure. When it's like after the function or whatever, and some like beat playing that you already know, like I can go because it's really just syllables. You know, freestyling really just finding syllables and writing words, and you don't have to say shit that makes sense. And also, when you from the South, like that, I think that leaks into written too. When you from the South, we have a completely different dialect. We got a completely different set of words and views. I'm pretty sure like the East Coast, West Coast have that shit too. But Southerners have a way of speaking, regardless of like outside of music, to where it's like it's really short and to the point. It's like short, sweet, concise, and like we can say what we want to say. It might be cryptic at times. We can say what we want to say by saying something completely different that you probably could create, or by only saying 3 words. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, or like cutting out some of the verbs or shit like that. It's just weird ways. So it's like I feel like I can find out a way to say whatever I want to say, especially because of my dialect. You know what I'm saying? The culture that I'm pulling from and shit like that. It's kind of easier with freestyle when you could really say 2 words every bar, as long as they rhyme. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Damn. Okay. I guess I never heard anyone from the South freestyle or been in an environment where I'm in the South and some shit like that. So, damn.
Okay. Think of closest thing I can think of because I just wrote that shit on the one-off Hell and Back. Like,
okay.
Listen to Hell and Back and the way I'm saying what I'm saying. Like, we don't tend to them bodies, just say what it is. I can't label it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just feel like that. Like, it flows and it's a pop or whatever, but I'm saying something. I'm just saying it in a not direct way or like a more cryptic way.
I hear you. There's a lot of connotation in that song. A lot of like connotation, like just over, like layered on top of the when you feel like it's a surface level, right? But it's not.
When you listen, you can like. That's another thing I like about the way I think I picked it up from Zay. I know I picked it up from Zay more than anything because I would listen to his music, and I think that's why he's my favorite artist. I keep saying I think that's why he's my favorite artist because he was the first artist in the South that kind of showed me, at least, that you can really do whatever you want. Like whatever you want. He got signed to the biggest label at the time, my favorite label at the time. You know what I'm saying? His Kendrick was my favorite rapper before I knew that you didn't have to be super lyrical, miracle, and to make a good song. But like when I heard him, it was just like the perfect mix of everything I feel like I ever wanted in an artist, being able like the swag, like the vibe, the sound. You know what I'm saying? Like hearing this shit made me feel good. Hearing like Score on that last album, it like that's the feeling I want. I want people to feel when I make different songs. Like, just it feels so liberating, it feels so free, and it feels so authentic. That's the word, authentic. Like, I think that's where I got that from, that whole cryptic thing. You always talk about how, like, you know, you got to find a way to say what you want to say, just in a different way, because everybody says it so much.
Yeah.
And that shit really stuck with me. And again, him being from, we 2 completely different Souths. Like, Tennessee is still way up there.
Yeah. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, but it was like the closest I've seen to a Southern nigga, bro, just unapologetically doing him. And I don't know. I love that shit. And that's all I want for myself. Him and Currency, I say that Currency too. Yeah, like.
Oh yeah.
I just love myself.
Oh
yeah. I want myself real bad. So I think it kind of leaked into my approach to music and shit like that. So I'm always gonna have something to say. I just might not say it, verbatim.
Right. I mean, hey, that sometimes makes a little bit deeper music, Makes you have to go back and listen. But yeah, bro. On that note, I was gonna say I don't think I have anything else that I wanted to touch on specifically. But like I said, if we obviously, we're gonna be staying in touch. And then if obviously if more music comes out or new visuals come out or something comes out, obviously I'd love to have you back on here for a round 2.
Bro, I love this shit. I love this. I ain't gonna lie. It's like that in therapy. It was really cool talking to somebody that I don't fucking hate, talking about something that I don't fucking hate. And also, even if you need a fucking co-host that time, just random shit.
Hey, alright.
I love conversation. So whatever you need from me, bro, just let me know when and what.
Hell yeah, bro, of course. We got somebody comment right here, Dilly. Yeah, that's how you say your name, bro.
Oh shit, Dill. Oh shit, what's crazy is he played drums for me at this LSU show. I did a show at LSU, for their welcome week. It was more like the band did this over LSU. They had come, but he is fucking amazing drummer. Jireh. We only like met once for real, so that's probably. But like Jireh, thank you for tapping in, bro.
Oh, my name's Levi, bro. He's like the jeans. He said, "Nah, the streamer."
Oh.
Yeah, Levi.
Yeah,
Appreciate you, bro. But hell yeah, we're gonna be back on here. We're gonna be having other artists on here. Maybe a couple other artists from BR. Maybe a couple family members from Jireh if we can lock that in. You never know.
You can lock that in.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, all right. We'll talk about that after. But all right, bro. Thank you so much for coming on. Much love, and have a good rest of your day, bro.
Yeah, man. Thank you, bro. For real.
Of course. All right. Peace.
Easy.